It's not for you. It's not for me. It's for the crowd. You want to do crazy things to put on a show. Do or die moves, and your mouth hanging open, and that's what's exciting. This goes back to my restaurant days, So 2 years in the kitchen. I was went from pizza guy to saute chef. I like cooking. Now, and again, the eating part of it, and being able to share the food and the team. All these guys, they appreciate the help. There's a lot that goes into the racing, and there's a lot that goes into preparing yourself mentally and physically for it. And I don't want to make them bad choices because they're having to do extra something. I'm originally from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Grew up there, did all my bike racing there, but now I currently live in Greenville, South Carolina. I've got a couple different titles. I think the one that sticks is probably I'm the Chief Sports Director of the American Cycling Group. I have the best memories of going to criteriums like this, right where we're at, here in Milwaukee. The racing is fast. The racing is intense. It's impactful. It has a great storyline. We're at what we call Toad right now. So it's a
famous race and long-standing race called Tour of America's Dairylands.
It's 11 days of racing in the heart of the cheese state, Wisconsin.
I've never done it before. I've only heard fun, crazy stories about these couple of weeks.
This was like the holy grail when I was a kid. I came up here with a couple friends of mine. So it was my first real live road trip. 7 o'clock at night every night, great preems, great crowds, great communities. Having the team come here now to do this, all that stuff just comes back. It's some of the best times I ever had in my life.
I found it coming down from the holiest place, so I stole it back. These days I find myself in love, unafraid. I don't know if you care.
Results here at Tour of America's Dairyland. He's here riding with the Aloha Push Bikers team from Bergenfeld, Germany. Up next is number 34, Wolfgang Brando.
American Cycling Group, a fun squad to watch. This rider out of Centennial, Colorado. Please welcome to the line, Demi Summerhill. Are you folks ready? We will say riders ready. Off and racing, 75 minutes. Here in the streets of
American cycling is sort of the manifestation of an idea that cycling in the United States just doesn't have the legacy that the teams in Europe do. So American cycling is really just the opportunity to turn a sort of a simple dream of having a professional cycling team into a bigger entity. I grew up racing criteriums. At that point, I didn't care about the Tour de France. All I cared about was the Tour of Somerville, the Tour of Nutley. So we sort of built the team around just riding the criteriums. To be competitive, you've got to have a sort of a mix of all the types of riders. You got to have a guy that can sprint. You got to have a guy that can make the decisions quickly. You got to have some punchy guys that can really put the power out, and then you got to have some guys that are willing to lay down their skin, bones, and power to make that thing happen. And we've got sort of a combination of all of that.
I don't know if it's travel or just like not much proper recovery after Tulsa, but that was fucking grim. You guys absolutely saved that shit.
Yeah, you know how to set this up?
Wow. It's cold out there, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Here
Put some
too.
clothes on. How you doing?
I'm alright.
You guys certainly don't clean up when I'm not here either, do you?
Yeah.
Enough, you don't.
Very customary nowadays that we just plan on host housing, so every time is like a surprise. Like, ooh, what's it gonna be? What weird shit are you gonna find here? My name is Danny Summerhill. I am from Denver, Colorado. I'm 34 years old. I'd say I've had a very unique career from lots of perspectives.
And Danny's one of the guys that I had an opinion about, because I've been in the sport, this would be, 12, 13 years or whatever as a director. It's like, man, I don't like that guy, just for whatever reason.
Raced cyclocross when I was younger, and I got a silver medal at the World Championships as a junior. And I always raced road along with that. In more recent years, actually was given probably the greatest gift, which was the opportunity of getting into the track program with the U.S. national team. And around the time that I was getting into the national team track program, also started really focusing on criterium racing, which is certainly the strongest part of cycling that the U.S. currently has outside of gravel.
Follow the moves. You don't, just like we are great at. And then the second half of the race, you follow them a little bit tighter, but you're allowed to race at that point and follow those moves, and maybe at that you don't necessarily hit the cream, but then you gotta nail it after that. We really want, we don't have the numbers here, so I mean one out of 3, 1 out of 4 of anybody, I think that's fine. And again, we're not commanding this race. This is the way we learn our roles and figure out how good we actually are, so that we're in some of these TV races we can ride better. What it is, you just gotta look at me. If the hat's on, everything's good. If the hat's off, everything's bad. All right?
Okay.
It's easy. It's an easy way to look at it. What am I gonna tell you? Move up?
Work together.
Go faster?
The brakes up the road.
But you know
Go
that.
now.
Yeah.
Don't wait 10 minutes.
Circle back around. I get on to the Best Buddies team and learn about Danny on the team. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Deep down, I know that every time you've got somebody that you despise or do not like that's on a different team, and now you're teammates, instantly you have this great relationship. You're like best friends. So the same way with Danny. He's a super compassionate, smart. What I like most about him is he gives a shit. He cares about the race. He cares about people. He doesn't like it when it goes bad, and he loves it when it goes good. Whether it's for himself or the guys on the team. He's a great sort of example of what I sort of envision a bike racer as being. Is he a little nutty? Yeah. So what? Because he does care.
Still early. So the game plan, of course, was just to sort of watch it as the first half of the race. Not be the aggressors, but just to follow stuff, and so they've been doing that.
There might be opportunities for me to make more money with other teams, but there's not the same opportunity to have such a cohesive group and be part of a program or mission, whatever you want to call it, as I've been fortunate enough to be a part of here. The other big piece of glue with this team is Thomas Craven.
It's getting a little dicey at the end there. They're still throwing out those preems. That was a $200 preem the last time. Looked like Alfredo. So you got beat on that one. They're going pretty hard for those preems, but they do some money for it. So we really haven't done a lot. The German team hasn't done a lot. You've never seen anything from those Legion guys except, you've never seen anything from Justin. So it'll be a nice big drag race here at the end. So
I think when you have someone at the helm like Thomas, who's been doing this for a number of years and has done it exceptionally well for a number of years, I think it just helps bring out that much more from an already talented group of athletes. I would say I've probably had more fun if I've stood on more podiums in the last couple of years racing than I have in my career at any other point.
So the hat's still on, so we're still doing good, right? So. So that guy that won, the Dominican guy that we raced against him a few times down in South America, and he's pretty quick. So this is like a good sprint for him because it's flat.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Justin was second. Third was Alfredo. I think that Robert was fourth. So, we sort of, it wasn't perfect in the lead out and stuff like that, and they got jostled. That's why we're here, to make sure that we get the reps, we get the finishes to be better for the later in the year.
Oh, something. Better than yesterday, though.
I'm working, so gotta be back by noon in order to to connect and get back to my day job per se. Each one of us on the team, like Michael, he's training to be a cop. Danny obviously taking care of his father, and he's got his own real estate business as well. So we all have obviously our lives away from cycling, and the team allows us to they're flexible enough to allow us to come in and out of racing and things like that. So
I think we were the first team ever to have 4 people suspended in 1 year. It's got to be a record.
Tailwind. So you can go farther than you think, but that also like means that you got guys that can take a roll on you because it is dead flat. Lots of speed coming out of there. Theoretically, you know, it's a good sprint for Danny because he does get rolling. He's not a speed guy, so he's a wind it up kind of guy. So if he goes a little bit early, carries the speed, he will be better off. So he can come from 2 guys or 3 guys back on something like this, whereas the speed out of the last turn doesn't really matter. He knows that, so I don't have to tell him. You have 2 goals: winning the race and maintaining ACC points, etc. So there's other guys that are here just to win money,
Right.
or to win this race.
Totally.
You know, you're not a slouch. There are a couple guys that could beat you, but you know, you're a Gomez.
Right.
You know, so Gomez, you think about what he would do for this thing. He would rail it through this turn,
Yep.
rest,
Yep.
kick it again going down that side, and hopefully try and stay out there with
Yeah.
Alfredo on his wheel.
Right.
So we need to do the same thing
Yep.
with Jaime or whomever, making
Right.
sure that you're there. It's
Yep.
going to be a battle after the start finish line, going through those turns. Lots of people are going to lose it, and there will be a crash on the outside going through that last turn at some point because it's decreasing radius,
Right.
and you're sort of blind and you
Right.
can't see around it. So
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam.
Definitely had a colorful history, which is obviously showcased so aggressively in cycling because I mean we live in such a very small bubble. 2 most awful moments were getting caught up in like the bullshit with I had signed like an NDA. I couldn't say anything about the story. That fucked me up just internally from knowing how many people I think I'd let down, that I knew had a totally changed sense of who I am now, and I couldn't actually set that record straight. And that was like such a painful thing to just like swallow. The world just thought I was fucking Looney Tune, and yeah, I walked around in shame for quite some time because of that. That was the first of 2 major setbacks.
15 laps to go now. Doesn't look like anything's going to actually crack off here now. There's pretty good tries there. So I would think with now everybody's sort of settled into the fact that it's probably going to be a field sprint. Robert, Jaime, and Sebastian are keyed into Danny for that finish. So
COVID happened, and I just had no sense of my future in cycling and got pretty burnt out from not qualifying for the Olympics. Just didn't even touch a bike. Along with that, I started taking a bit more care of like mental health side of things and focusing on taking antidepressants, and then along with that was a specific medication that fast forward to me actually getting excited about bike racing again. I won a race, and in that moment I was like, oh shit, one of my medications might have a problem here and needed a TUE, which is a therapeutic use exemption. That ordeal was looking at like 4 years for just one of the daily medications that I take. If it were up to me, I'm chaotic enough as it is, having ADD and everything else, that there's no way that I'd probably be able to keep cycling. My mom's really strong. She's pretty much who got me through that.
Attention riders, $1,300. $1,300 cash. 1300.
It was the echelon guy that just overshot it. Slid out. I grabbed all the brake I could, and I think just whatever that was just slingshotted my chain off the fucking ring. And then I'm spinning there while they're all fucking passing me. And then I think that I was just like so pissed, I let probably 4 other people pass me right up there because I just stopped thinking. Fuck.
You heard me say in the meeting there's going to be a crash in that last lap on the last turn. Stay on the inside. Not that you can do anything about it sometimes, but
And the top step belongs to Alfredo Rodriguez.
Decompress. Remember, you get like, 15 minutes to moan about it.
Bitch. Yeah. Fuck, you've had more than 15 minutes.
You sat in?
if you were free, the guy away, you said you didn't even.
Currently, we are in
Indiana? I don't know. People say Indy, I guess.
Indianapolis, Indiana, racing the Momentum Indy Criterium, which is, I believe, the
Second to last stop of the American Criterium Cup Series.
we're here with our 3 quickest guys. Again, we're sort of faced with a money thing, but we're going to hit this race just as hard as we normally would. And as far as physically, we are actually leading the overall with Danny Summerhill. We're leading the points as well as have second place in the points. And I think we're second in the team category.
It's been a real neck and neck fight between myself and the rider in second place, Alfredo Rodriguez. I love the guy because we were teammates, but it's really fun to actually have the head-to-head.
If you look at where we were at the end of last year to come to this year, I think we're doing pretty well. When was the last time you watched that?
Every other couple days. It's so beat up looking though that like it gives this extra illusion of like being gross and dirty, but it's just like
It's like a cast iron skillet.
yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Just making sure.
Thinking that it's going to be a breakaway established early because the speed will be just super, super high, and you're going to have 25 guys racing. The rest of the guys are just going to be surviving, fighting, and then in the front 9, 11 guys roll off the front, easily lap the field because it's only like a kilometer around. Just get to that last turn, so first and second coming out of that last turn, and you can win. So that's the goal. What happens in between now and then is, it's up to them.
More often than not, there's always some like nerves going, and it's just trying to like manage those so that they don't like take over.
Thank you.
I have a lot of passion for this series because to me it is the only national series that there is. There's a lot more for me personally riding on it because of where I'm sitting in those standings at this time. I think that it would be a pretty cool accomplishment for the team, given the fact that like we sort of have this David versus Goliath aspect about us, where we're up against these teams with like 3 times our budget and we're showing up to races with like 3 guys, you know, and still holding our own. I really love that. It just is a testament to what this team is all about. We've been having 3 riders at these races mostly from a budgetary standpoint, and also there's a lot of guys with real jobs.
Got, like we said, it could be a sprint. I mean, but it looked like it might be a breakaway. It still could snap here at the end, but you see now it started with like 80 guys. Now it's really about 20 guys are racing every lap. You're losing a couple guys. So now 10 to go. Everyone's pretty much resigned to the fact that it's probably going to be a field sprint. So now we go into that mode and just make sure that we're present in the front.
That I think is another kind of unique aspect to this team, that some guys still have like day jobs and are able to show up and do what they have been doing all season is I think an accomplishment in itself.
That was not having a full team.
Yeah.
The 2 of us. Huh? Two of us doing the work. That was the hottest, fucking most miserable shit I've done in so long. I was wrong today. Coming with a little 3-man hit squad is not always ideal. Today we were just doing like double the work.
Jaime was second, Danny was third. So, 3-man hit squad. We just missed one. So.
Is Jaime Castaneda, the American Danny Summerhill. And your race winner, hailing from Athens, Georgia, riding for Legion of Los Angeles. Welcome to the top step, Ty Magner.
I think we, as a team, are always mad when Legion wins and we don't. Happy for Ty on a personal level because Ty's a really good guy and we've been teammates years past, and happy for him in that sense. But of course, not pleased for the fact that ACG didn't win, but Legion did.
That's what the joke they keep telling me that I just always make dry ass chicken, but it's not. It's perfect. So in second place, we've been battling, all been a good fight, back and forth with Danny and with Alfredo from the Miami Knights team. And apparently, from what I hear, they essentially took everyone's equipment, which would mean a bike. So that puts them without a bike for the next race. The second place guy isn't going to be here. It's unfortunate, but that's what it came down to.
La carrera es como ayer.
We all felt bad, but I think today will be better. So
yeah,
this is also the ACC race, and Danny can win the series today by placing 4th place or better.
Es una carrera ACC. Danny puede ganar la serie hoy, si queda en cuarto lugar o mejor.
Hopefully not getting greedy, but kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If we could lead Jordan out, but get me high enough up to knock out those points.
Mm-hmm. I think that the goal is to win the race and also just add points to you, so that in case anything works.
So weekend overall is not what we quit thinking about.
Right.
I will quit thinking about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Eliminate that from your thoughts.
Okay.
That'll come.
it's been a real blessing getting to stand on podiums the amount that I have this season, because it's just something I never really anticipated doing. My dad has Alzheimer's, and I guess I'd be his primary caretaker, and yeah, it's been a wild couple of years just because so much of like my life and what I'm able to do is sort of dependent on him. Probably like having a kid. Doing shit that I imagine like parents do, you know? It's just a weird feeling doing it for a parent. I'm happy to be at all these races, but I also feel guilty too. So at least the fact that like I can have some good results while doing it has been a major like blessing for sure. Just trying to, I'd say, enjoy the times that I would have with him now before it keeps progressing, and I guess I'm just nervous about the day that he forgets my name, you know?
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your ACC and IUL Momentum Indy winner, Danny
Might not stand up. Just saying, just saying.
And congratulations from the announcer, Danny Summerhill, your ACC winner, I can now say. And a big win here at IU Health Momentum Indy. Danny, we saw a lot of emotion across that line for you. What was going through your head when you hit the line here winning today's race?
I mean, it's always really emotional when you get a small group like this, 3 of us coming to fight against these other huge teams with full squads, and to be able to pull it off is always a special feeling. So, Ty said they might take it from me. Why? Because I jumped the curb. Why? Coming to them.
All right, we are getting ready for our podium presentation.
So apparently there's like in the last turn, Danny sort of bunny hopped the last inside corner, I guess, to get that gap. So the Legion guys are protesting it. I'd like to protest something that they do, but I think all these barriers, I'm not sure what the rule is, but all these barriers show where the course is. So I don't know.
Oh, just the final corner, I hopped the curb. And I mean, probably could have gone around anyway, but it was like typical, like just chaos. I just tried to avoid it. Yeah.
They're going to knock you down
To fourth?
Yeah, because
come
they're.
on.
I can't remember which one of these guys was in front of you.
Well, fucking Corey and Jaime were bouncing into each other. That's bullshit.
The argument is he's off course.
What is this?
The sidewalk's not part of the course.
What is on the inside of that is the course?
No,
Why not?
because cones also mark the course.
Cones on the inside of the course mark the course, but the outside of the barrier doesn't mark the course.
Do not dispute this with me. I'm not going to change it.
So why not? You didn't talk to me about it. I think you should come to me and talk to me about it before you make a decision. I think that's perfectly fine.
Thank you for your opinion. and I'm not going to discuss this with the camera with you.
Okay.
Danny, I will say that was a pretty sick line.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, the line was fucking dope.
And in my head, it kept us all alive, you know? Like.
St. Louis, Missouri or Montana. It's a MO, I believe.
We are at stop number 11. Is that right, or is it 10? It's the last stop, St. Louis, of the American Criterium Cup series. It was the first race that I had back last season, and I managed to win this ACC day last year.
And I think that this year we are poised for even better success.
We currently have the overall, we have the sprint jersey overall, and we have the second place in the sprint jersey overall. As of this moment, we are leading the team overall. So, I mean, if you want to root for David in this Goliath story, like, we are fucking killing it. What we've managed to accomplish is like pretty impressive, you know?
Mike here, we've got the commander, the chief, who's going to be able to direct when we start and where we start.
Jordan has the jersey for the overall, so
Right.
like that's a goal, and that I think should be the goal today is to kind of bolster that lead.
Right.
To do that, you know, we need to go into that last corner. I think with two guys still in front of
Yeah.
him. And when we go, we're fucking going.
Yeah.
You know, I think the vibes on the team are pretty good right now. So, you know, won last night. It's my first race of the weekend, so kind of got to see how I feel after the flight yesterday. But this course is pretty easy. I think it's one of the easier courses of the year. So, no wind, so really nothing to like split it up. So, yeah, I think this race always comes down to the last 2 or 3 laps. So just how you can be positioned and who's willing to take the risks in the last little bit of it.
The drama is made up. The beef is probably real, and that I think that you can't necessarily be buddies with everybody. You know, you've got to have rivals. You've got to have some sort of disdain for your competition. Yeah, I want to beat all the other teams. Not because I don't like their bikes or because I don't like the way they look or whatever like that. It's just, you know, we want to be the best team. There's a respect and a understanding that during the competition, yeah, we're going to go toe to toe and shoulder to shoulder without crossing a line. There's going to be some leaning, and there's going to be some rubbing, and there's going to be some bumping, and it can be dangerous. It's inherent of the sport. To me, I've always told these guys that you get, 15 minutes to be upset about the loss, mad about whatever, and that's it. Yeah, just move on. We are not trying to change the world. We're just trying to race bikes and hang out with our friends, make some memories, have a couple drinks, eat some dried ass chicken, and, have a laugh. I mean, that's really the goal, because nobody really cares about what we're doing except for us.
I don't even know what the results were. What did we get? Second, third, and fourth? To go back and play the tape from earlier in the team meeting, that was exactly what we said was going to happen. It's it's good. We showed that we're still riding the good. The plan was right. So we got beat. You know, I mean, that's what you get beat. And the guy's good. He's fast. No problem.
I think it's 50-50 breakaway or sprint, mainly because of how I think we should race. If it's going to be a sprint, I would like to see, mainly for the overall for the weekend and the overall for the ACC, I would like to give Jaime a chance to win. I think it's a good course for him. I don't want any breakaway to go that doesn't have at least one of these three guys. If one of them is not in it, we don't work in it, we kill it. We're gonna look like we're racing super fucking negative today, but I'm okay with that. Fuck these guys. Like we have 3 podiums in 2 days already, and the leaders jersey, and we won the ACC, and the sprint jersey, and the team. Like we have nothing to lose, so we can race as greedy as we want to. Today is the day for us to race greedy if we're gonna do it.
Heard you moved out of town, moved out of state, but you're still in the same old place. Hey kid, why you keep looking down? Was it something you dropped, or something you lost, something you still ain't found? Hey kid.
I've always been, I think for lack of a better word, like bridesmaid. And I'm happy with that. Like being a lead out rider has been something that I've loved doing. And then this year's sort of moved me away from being a lead out rider. I'm happy that I've been able to have this success from this year to still like in the back of my head know that it's all been worth it, you know? This is what I think we all dream of when it comes to bike racing, is having fairy tale seasons. It's a cool feeling to be where I feel like I am.
As far as the ultimate dream of driving around in a Porsche and having a house at the beach and all that sort of stuff like that, this is not it. But as a 59-year-old man and the experiences that I've had, I'm always chasing that dream of the success of the team. I have a serious case of FOMO for anything. I do not want to miss out when this stuff finally starts paying off.
That'll be the end of the season for the team, so kind of bittersweet, but good way to end it.
I'm more happy just to like shut any potential bullshit talker up from last week and cheating and jumping cones and courses and shit. So that's way more cool. But yeah, I'm happy.
Mike wanted to have a, he's like looking at the numbers, and we had the accountant there and working everything and trying to figure it all out. Ultimately, the simplest plan always works. Danny's the best criterium racer in the country right now, so let him do his thing, right? That's all I need to do. So.
Dance for the finish.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
I know everything happens for a reason, and it's difficult understanding what those reasons are sometimes, for sure. But in the weird grand scheme of things, I'm happy for all the instances in my life that have brought me here.
I've seen some things that made me weak, buckled both my knees, but nowhere I would rather be when fall takes hold in Tennessee.